From Valor Pulse TV studio in Highlands Ranch, Valor Christian High School's leading news magazine begins now. This is Valor Pulse.
They're creepy and they're spooky, mysterious and spooky. They're all together ooky, the Addams Family.
Nothing is worse than getting your drone stuck up in a tree, but it's definitely up there.
And what would you do if you came out of your front door and saw someone driving away with your car?
All this and more coming up on Valor Pulse. Hello, and welcome to the first episode of Valor Pulse TV, Season 6. I'm Kaylee Whidden.
And I'm Willa Gartner. Journey with us as we meet the creepiest and kookiest family we all know and love.
We'll show you a bird's eye perspective inside Valor through FPV, and we'll look through his lens. See who received a very special gift, and check out some winter sports highlights.
The spring musical is upon us, but don't let their spooky appearance scare you. It's just the Addams Family.
It's kooky and spooky, and if you've walked into the arts building after school these past few months, you've seen these kids putting in a lot of hard work.
Mr. Annemeyer and Julia Morgan have put together the annual musical trailer, and it's fantastic as always.
Let's give it a look.
That wasn't the only amazing arts venture. Due to COVID, the arts team couldn't host the annual winter art show as usual. Instead, under the direction of Mr. Von Quayle and Mrs. Monson, the art show went digital.
It's a fabulous 3D rendering of the Valor Arts Building. You can take a virtual tour of the entire building, check out the fantastic artwork, and see the best in categories.
To check out the art show, scan the QR code in the corner of the screen or go to the website below and check it out. You can navigate through the arts building floor by floor, check out the exciting artwork on every level.
What a great way to honor student work. And speaking of student work, don't forget about the Valor Music Awards, which wrapped up in January. Valor's songwriting program, The Loft, gave us quite the show. Along with some incredible performances, many hard-earned rewards were handed out to some talented artists.
Valor Pulse's very own Cole Walker and Julia Morgan had the opportunity to spend some time with the winners. Here's what they had to say.
Hi, my name is Cole Walker, here with Valor Pulse at the VMAs, the Valor Music Awards. I'm here with the winner of the Senior Achievement, Maria Pretzler. Maria, you sang a song, Feathers, tonight. That was nominated for almost every single award that was possible. You sang it tonight too. Please tell us about this song.
The main thing that I was thinking about when I wrote this song was just how sometimes life can
just throw you for a loop a little bit and push you off of cliffs that you're not expecting. But feathers don't fly. A lot of times things happen to us in life that we're not expecting and we never have time to prepare for them. So all we can do is learn how to adapt the best that we can on the way down.
There's a lyric in this song that really conveys that. Can you tell that to our audience real quick?
Building our wings while we're falling, it's always a race against time. And then at the end, also, feathers don't fly on their own.
I love it. Senior Achievement winner, Maria Pretzler. And I have Julia Hannen with me, the winner of that, with Still Alone. What a song, what a performance. You are so talented. Would you give us some insight into what the song's about and the writing process of it and what you really feel through it?
Yeah, so I really don't write songs about boys because it's just not my thing. I mean, I guess I sort of got my heart broken by someone. I think it was interesting, like we were at very different parts in our lives. So that was interesting to talk about. You can put on this facade of like, oh, I'm perfect and blah, 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 but on the inside, like, he's alone, and it's almost like healing for me.
Thank you so much for being with us tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, Julia Hannen. I'm here with the Melody of the Year winner, Langdon Bradley. Just give us the story, man.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Lighthouse, it kind of just, it was really a couple nights actually before the singer-songwriter showcase. I didn't really have a song. I kind of just had a title. Like, I gave Mr. McGeehee Lighthouse, and I was like, all right, I can work with that.
Emma Corsi, Lyric of the Year winner, Owe It All to Grace. Tell us more about it, where it came from.
Yeah, I mean, I have a full story about how it was written. I'll tell kind of a short, abbreviated version. Over the summer, and I was at my grandpa's house, my sister was in the next room, and I think, the hook, Owe It All to Grace, came to me first. And I was like, wow, I do owe everything to God and to His grace and His goodness. And where would I? The rest of the lyrics literally came that night, and I kind of I changed them up a little bit. But honestly, the whole song came to me, and I know I'm a songwriter, but I do think that the songs are kind of written for me. Just write them down and sing them, so yeah, that's how the song came.
You said tonight in your song, you're singing for the glory of the King, and your voice does give God glory. So thank you so much for being with us tonight. Emma Corsi.
We have some really talented students here at the school. Congrats to all of our winners of the VMAs. For our full interviews, visit Valor Pulse channel on YouTube.
Not only did arts have some great events, but there are some noteworthy changes around the campus in general.
That's right, Willa. Have you noticed how all of a sudden you can't go anywhere without your ID dangling around your neck?
Yes, but with further investigation, it all makes sense.
Well, then let's investigate.
We're talking about Valor safety and security today with a lot of questions. I'm joined by Mr. Watson, Director of Student Experience, Mr. Coyle, Director of Safety and Security, and Deputy Dan Palermo, who is Valor's SRO, answering some of these questions. Thank you so much for taking the time today. As most of you know, some of Valor's safety rules have changed, so let's dig in and find out exactly why. So, Mr. Coyle, why are students required to wear their IDs now?
We actually implemented a policy of wearing IDs at the beginning of the school year. One of the main concerns was with other school districts not being in person teaching or hybrid teaching, there's more kids that were walking around. We had many occasions that we've had kids from other schools entering Valor campus.
And not that this would ever happen, but hypothetically, if a student continuously forgot their ID, what would be the consequence?
So obviously it's going to be on a case-by-case basis with the student, and we'll sit with Mr. Coyle, the Director of Safety and Security, and we feel like if it's a habitual sort of thing and that you're always forgetting your ID, then it becomes a safety issue. And whether or not it's, are you willing, are you able, are you aware? So we're going to educate you on why you should be wearing your ID, why you should bring it every day, and then try and get to the point of, is it just because you don't want to bring your ID? And if it's a matter of you just don't want to bring your ID, then it'll go through the dean's office and we'll have some consequences for you. We'll meet with your parents and determine your level of alignment with what we're trying to do, because we know that this is a serious thing. We want to be able to separate the sheep from the wolves and essentially to protect our flock. And so in order to do that, that means at times there may have to be some uncomfortable consequences such as community service, maybe depending upon how far it goes, maybe a day at home, an alignment check so that you can determine whether or not you really want to be here, because this really is a simple thing that we're asking you.
Following up all of this safety and security, we just had a lockdown drill. What is most important for students to know about lockdown drills?
The most important thing for students to know is to lock down, turn the lights off, and stay out of sight. Get behind a locked door, get away from the windows, be quiet, and turn the lights off. Let the professionals figure out what's going on. If it's not a drill, the only person that should be opening that door will be law enforcement.
Well, thank you guys so much for your time and for providing that amazing information today. And thank you so much for keeping the Valor community safe and secure. From VPTV, I'm Willa Gartner.
We'll remember our IDs now. Thank you so much to Deputy Palermo, Mr. Watson, and Mr. Coyle for sitting down to discuss the importance of school safety with me.
And thank you for doing your part in keeping everyone safe. Speaking of safety, has anyone seen those random drones flying around campus?
Drones flying around campus?
Yes, Willa, drones. But don't worry, they're safe. Valor actually has a new drone class taught by our awesome Valor Pulse teacher, Miss Kakak. Stay tuned with that promo coming up next.
And coming up soon, a group of people raised money to help out a Valor staff member whose car was stolen from his own driveway.
Hi, I'm Miss Kakak. Welcome to Valor Christian High School's drone class. Come on in and check it out.
One of the most important aspects of the class is safety. We start with an intro to drones and learn to fly safely. Each student is required to pass a test of basic maneuvers without the use of GPS. This includes hovering in place, flying in patterns with and without yaw, and being able to fly forward and backward while maintaining steady control of the drone. Students also have access to a flight simulator to practice their skills in a non-threatening environment. Throughout the course, we also prepare students for the Part 107 SUAS exam. This certification will allow them to move from a drone hobbyist to become a fully licensed commercial drone pilot. Students will also receive hands-on outdoor training on the DJI Mavic 2 Pro series and the Mavic 2 Zoom. Students will learn the basics of drone photography and cinematography. Projects will include framing and composition, landscape photography, and culminate with a drone light writing project with a slow shutter recording their drone paths. Students learn to program images in Google Earth and then put the drones up in the sky and record the drone flight path they programmed earlier in class. From there, students will learn drone cinematography, tips and techniques, and how to take a variety of cinematic shots with drones. Students will learn shots such as the tilt reveal, bird's eye shots, tracking or crane shots, forwards and backwards reveals, orbits, fly-throughs, and more. Students will integrate these shots into collaborative projects such as working with the script writing and the filmmaking classes to provide cinematic shots created by skilled pilots. The final unit will be drone racing, and the students will become skilled at flying FPV, creating racing courses, as well as maneuvering those courses. The races serve multi-purpose functions. First, in order to race well, you need to be very skilled at flying, so students will develop outstanding piloting skills, which will help them with becoming better cinematographers and pilots. And finally, they will become skilled at flying FPV, which is an advanced method of flying. Although the focus of the class is using the drone as a creative tool, students will gain so much more, including personal flight skills as well as STEM training in order to pass the Part 107 exam. The class is challenging, but it's still a really fun way to earn an arts credit and learn more about a state-of-the-art industry.
Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you in the next class.
Way to pioneer a great new adventure in a cutting-edge field. Valor never ceases to amaze me.
There are so many awesome opportunities. I am so thankful that we are able to experience them all while still focusing on the Lord.
Yes, I couldn't agree more. Our main focus and end goal is Christ.
We hope to reflect him in all that we do. Let's take a look at how Valor students are doing just that.
You know, I choose Jesus because Christ has been my constant over my life.
I choose Jesus because there's this inner thing in our soul that helps us choose who we are, and it gives you a craving to want to read the Bible more and more, and then you want Jesus to own every part of your life.
So my relationship with Christ is something that brings freedom to my life.
I choose Jesus because I saw what the world had to offer. I saw what worldly relationships were getting me, and I knew it wasn't enough.
My faith really started to become my own when I really started to dig deep into what that foundation means.
The kind of love that God offers us, that Jesus offers us, is more than anything this world can offer.
And what I mean by that is that his gift of love to us is something that you can't earn.
Not just one part, not just two parts, but every part of your life.
It's freely given to us, and all you have to do is accept it.
You know, but really truly finding that faith for yourself, that's when the true foundation and cornerstone comes into play.
And there was this moment as an underclassman where I felt this tug, and I knew God was telling me, hey man, you gotta choose. And he said during worship, in the back of the balcony during chapel, surrender to me, raise your hands, worship me publicly. And I was scared, and I shut my eyes, and I was afraid of being judged, but I put my hands up and I said, God, I give it to you.
So throughout my life, you know, I choose to praise God, and I choose to have joy because Jesus has been my constant.
Because I gave all of my life to Jesus, and that's why I choose him.
So this choosing Jesus piece, you just saw students say, I choose Jesus. And we really wanted to make this, and I wanted to make this because I want you to know, I want you, Valor, student body, and anyone who else is watching this, that choosing Jesus is it. And there is nothing better, and there is nothing sweeter. And I hope these testimonies, and I hope these words of encouragement really speak to you in that way. God bless, guys, and let's keep choosing Jesus.
Jesus is awesome. We are blessed because of our Savior, and it puts a smile on our face to see students choosing him.
As we are on a campus where Christ is proclaimed, we see the result of that through many of people's actions.
Here's a story about the Valor community rallying around trial, placing our hope in heaven and attempting to do his will on earth.
This is a story about gratefulness and community. It's about a man who affects thousands of people by being a source of inspiration and happiness. But when he least expected it in his time of need, the tables were turned.
That every day you get up in the morning and you give thanks to God.
Joe is the most grateful person you will ever meet.
We forget about that and we take it for granted.
His role at Valor is in every room, every hallway, and every field, making sure things are in order, clean, and ready for students. But the man who lifts everyone up with his positivity fell on hard times while working a job at a home in Ken Carl.
You know, the car was gone and I couldn't do nothing.
His car was stolen and he was injured running out to try to stop the crime.
6 hours later, they found my car unworkable.
Joe was left without a way to get around and to the job at Valor he loves so much.
I love this school. I love the kids here. They're great kids. The faculty is a wonderful faculty. Then you know how you guys are. You guys are my heart.
He's like our janitor, but honestly, I feel like he's a lot more than that to our Valor community. I mean, he honestly just uplifts everybody's spirit. He's always coming around, always talking to all the kids, telling how much he loves them and he loves God. And
you know, I think Joe's an important person because he really brings light to Valor. Like, he's always around the halls playing music, and like you'll see him go into the elevator and like he's dancing and he's singing, and he's just always doing something that'll put a smile on your face.
In his time of need, the school community loved Joe back.
We love you, Joe!
Chad and Mr. Bob and all the kids, they showed me the car that they got for me, and I was excited. It was a speechless emotion, you know, because those only come once in a while. You know, God gives you the miracle, you take the window and be blessed. So it was a great experience. I love the way the people work here. I love the kindness and the manner they conduct themselves. It's wonderful, wonderful.
The money raised to buy Joe a car was donated by students and faculty, spearheaded by Chad Richardson and Bob Dixon.
What a heartwarming story. I'm glad there are still a lot of people doing good things in these difficult times.
Definitely, and a special thanks to Natalie Tidsdale for collaborating with us on that story.
Up next, they're crushing it on the court and on the mat. Stay tuned for some winter sport highlights you won't want to miss.
That was great, Kaylee. Nice job on that segment. And speaking of sports, have you seen the sports app that came out earlier this year?
One of our crew members has been attending school remotely from Arizona since the start of the semester. Here's our own Valor Pulse reporter, Kyla Fouts, with more on that story.
Welcome to Valor Pulse's new segment, Tech Tips. Here we'll bring you important technology help we feel would help you as a Valor student. You may or may not be aware that there's an app specifically designed for Valor sports, the Game Day app. Let's dive in and take a look. Welcome to Valor Pulse's new segment, Tech Tips. Here we'll bring you important technology tips we feel would help you as a Valor student. You may or may not be aware that there's an app specifically designed for Valor sports. It is called the Game Day app. Let's dive in and take a look. When you open your app, this is the first thing you see. You can see that the boys basketball here has a game at 8 o'clock today. And when you go lower down, you can see that there are different things to select. For here, you can watch live or look at the news. Here we can watch live what games are going on, or we can watch anything that has happened in the past. Thank you, Valor Sports Network, for helping us have this. Going back to that main screen I've already showed you guys once, if you scroll on the bottom, you can see the next two things is schedule and team info. We can see the next up events, which are mostly happening today at Prairie View High School and Chatfield High School. And then in a few days we can see there's stuff going on at Arvada West. What happens when you click on team info is you come up to this screen that says teams and you have more options. Here below, I'm going to click on baseball and show you guys what comes up when you pick your team. Here you can see, you can look at the team schedule, team news, and obviously that is your team preference if you're following them or not. Going back to the home screen, the next two things we can click is the fan guide and our merchandise. Here's what those two look like. When you click on fan guide, you can obviously look at the live broadcast thanks to Valor Sports Network. And if you want more information about the different departments, you can click the other one. And of course, what would a Valor Sports app be without our merchandise? If you click on here, it brings you straight to the link to buy any merchandise as long as it's in stock. Obviously we want to rep our school. Go Eagles! Getting closer to the end, here's to buy the tickets and to look at a map of our lovely school. If you want to go to a football game, basketball game, anything like that, you know what you'll need during this COVID season? You'll need some tickets. Here's where you go to get just that. If you go to this school, I don't believe you will need this, but just in case you have family or friends that need to navigate their way around, this is the exact place to go for that. This is our school map. And last but certainly not least, where we can look at our teams. You can see here I have every team selected because I want to know what is always going on at Valor. But you can choose the teams you're most interested in and go from there. I hope you've enjoyed this review of the Valor Game Day app. Hopefully, it is helpful for you and for your time here at Valor.
Thanks, Kyla. That seems like a really useful app. I'm sure Valor students will love it. And speaking of love, we had a chance to send out a Cupid and find out more about this Valentine's Day.
Let's go get some Valentine's tea. Sarah Swift, how are we doing today?
I'm good, Cole. How are you?
We're good. So we've got a question for all the men out there on Valentine's Day.
What's up?
Very important question, a political question. Sarah, do you think guys should ask their girlfriends who they've already been dating to be Valentines? Do you think that is necessary?
Personally, I would say yes. Devin, I'm talking to you. But I think if it's not your first Valentine's together, I don't think it's necessary. But if it is your first Valentine's together, you definitely should.
Thank you, Sarah.
You're welcome.
Doesn't work on gingers.
Hi, Remy. What do you think about Valentine's?
Valentine's Day is, I don't know, it's interesting. It's people hate it, people love it. It's just, yeah, it is what it is.
And who's your Valentine?
You are, Cole is.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with Mr. Whitfield's Green Bible class right now. And class, we've got an important question on this video. If the guy has been dating the girl, does he still need to ask her to be his Valentine?
Yes!
Thoughts? Yes? Yes. No?
It's overkill.
No, it's overkill. It's overkill.
It should be assumed if you guys are dating.
Wow. Okay, whoa. Does anyone have any defense for this? Vito. Okay.
This point in the relationship, the female should ask the male out on
No.
the
Whoa!
Yes. Pay for dinner, pay for the presents, pay for everything. Alright, that's all I have to say.
Alright, any last thoughts? Aaliyah, yes ma'am.
I think somebody should ask somebody. There's nothing wrong with the female, but you want to make your partner feel special.
Yeah.
You always want to make your partner feel special.
Cupid's with that one.
Yeah!
Okay, thank you guys.
Leave it to Cole to find love in the air on Valor's campus.
Exactly, and that is a wrap. Don't forget to follow us on social media. We have Snapchat, TikTok, and Instagram, not to mention our own YouTube channel. Please share any news tips with us at our email, valorpost@govalor.com.
Thank you for tuning in to Valor Pulse TV. Have a great rest of the semester, and we'll see you in the spring. Join us in our next episode where we will learn more about Wish Week.
We will also see if Valor Pulse has a chance to compete in the 4th annual spring sports competition. So far, we are 0-3, although we had some awesome showing last year at soccer and track.
But who will win this year? We'll see you in March to find out. Until then,
we're creepy and we're kooky, we're all so very spooky.
All together,
kooky, the Addams Family.